Hey guys, welcome back, and yeah, let's see what's going on here on the chart. So just so everybody knows, I'm going to try to do live streams every single day. Mostly it's going to be around the PM session, but I thought let's have it obviously. Just 1 second. Have it on from 9:30 in the morning, and then obviously I won't talk much, but I'll mark stuff out and people can come and see and look, and then the basic thing is just to show people that if you read the market right, not to go for home runs, but take small profits, and it all adds up at the end of the day. Manage your risk, and obviously just you know find a strategy that actually works for you and stick to it and try to be disciplined. So what we've got here quickly, this is the 2 minute. I'm actually gonna change this to a 1 minute chart, but what I want to show you guys quickly on the weekly, just so we're all on the same page on what I'm looking at here. Let me take this off and let's just expand it quickly. So basically you'll see there's some lines I've got on my charts, and basically it is this candle's high, this candle's low, this big fair value gap. We've already come and test into the 50% of that. I'm expecting this candle to run low to test the 50% of this wick, and that's the red line that you'll see on the lower time frame. And then most probably look for some buy opportunity to go higher to take this equal highs into this fair value gap up here. But for now, I'm gonna look and see what we do at the 50% when the market opens, and I'm just gonna talk through what I see and what I do. And what I've done is, so everybody also know, on a paper trade account, I've reset the account to $50,000, which is in line with what you obviously do on funded accounts. And we'll put some rules out that we're not allowed to lose more than $1,000 in a day, and we'll just see at the end of the day how did we do by just following some small trades and not scaling in big time and try to hit a home run with one trade. So let me go back to the 1 minute and see what we get from there. Just get this off. So now you'll see I've got all the lines up here, and you'll see there's a red line down here. That's pretty far, but let's see what happens. I'm just gonna sit and see. We're obviously gonna see what happens in that first 30 minutes, which is 9:30 to 10. So we might run some liquidity and do some fair value gap to run higher. But let's see. I'm gonna put myself on mute, and then I'll check in with you guys when action starts. This opening gap, guys, what normally happens is obviously we bullish and we want to see what happens down here when we get to the weekly consequent encouragement, and see if we get some sort of reversal pattern to run higher. But we've got this gap here, and I would like to see this gap either get tested on the 50% today, or ultimately complete this gap as a whole. So let's just have a look and see what fair value gaps we create, and see if we're going to invert anything where we're going to base the entry off. Just so you guys know, on this $50,000 account, I'm only going to work on the micro accounts. So I'm only allowed to spend 15 micros, which is 3 sets of 5. So, and that's just to not over leverage the account and make sure we obviously manage our risk better. Alright, so let's just see what happens here, and I'm going to start mark stuff out as I see it, and then we take it from there and see how it plays out. Okay, so we at the weekly consequent encouragement, which is to do, if I can make it smaller, I can show you guys. Let's just do this. Okay, we want to see if it closes that gap, or if it's gonna create a little fair value gap. Okay, you'll see there's big fair value gap or little fair value gap here. Fair value gap. Let's see if it inverts it. So it now filled to obviously go lower. Okay, so it's rejecting it at the moment. I need to see it inverted, and maybe I'm just gonna say, let's see if it does anything. Yeah, it inverts. Buy at market, and we're only gonna buy 5 there. All right. Okay, we got 10. Okay, 50% of the scandal. See where it closed, that's what's important. Yeah, it's still within that fair value gap, guys. Alright, so alright, if it's trying to drop here, then we'll just call it quits. Actually gonna measure, I wanted to measure the 50%, it's around here. So let's see. Might go and test it again. I want to see this rip up and take those highs out. Then I'll be good. But I think if it's going to go down here, I might just close it. Okay, so let's say stops me out, that's fine. We down and we don't want to see, so we'll just wait for another setup. Normally what happens is we drop down, we tested this, we inverted this little fair value gap here, and the one right that right there, which made it have inverted fair value gap, but it's fine. And then it dropped around this, but this 50% of this was holding, and that's why I thought if we run those lows, I'll put my stop down there, and I've got my loss there. anyways, luckily we cut our losses, and here we go. I mean, that's the 50% of the daily fair value gap. But let's see what happens here. We're still on the 1 minute. I mean, guys, I'm bullish because of that weekly rejection in that fair value gap, and was expecting some sort of, you know, reversal down there. So if this thing goes up and come and test these 3 up candles, this could be a manipulation. We could see now price break this and close above here, come and test it. Then I'll target for this, then the high, and then obviously higher highs here. So let's just see. Keep a close eye. Okay, so now what we've got is we've had a little bit of a inverted fair value gap here. I mean, it's so tiny, but you know what? Sometimes these fair value gaps holds. Not this one. It's holding. If it closes above that 50%, which it does now, I would like to see it inverts and break above, and then come test it, and that's where I'll most probably look to buy. Let's put it this way so I can see it. And if it drops from here, then it's fine. I'm not in a trade, so I want to see it holds. We caught between 2 fair value gaps. This is obviously IFG now because it inverted. Come on. Well, let's see. See, now it's breaking lower again, and we might. Let's see if this price is holding it as order block. And I think this is where we're gonna see our bias form now, so that's fine. I'm just gonna put it like orders like this, so we just want to see what this does down here. This fair value gap. This is an order block. If we touch this or ramp higher, test this, it becomes a propulsion block, and you can obviously base some entries off that. But I would have liked to see this break up here. But let's just see. Okay. See, now it breaks higher. Right, so it's getting there, and see now it pushes above that. And guys, don't be scared. Don't think you got to enter, because now you're missing the move. You're not missing any move. We're still in an area where the retracement to this can be a good entry. We've already bounced off this. If it goes in there, I might take a buy and then see, because if we can push higher from there. Let's see. Down candle, up, down candle, up, down spike, and then rally up. And then we get close to the macro, which starting at 950. So let's see what happens here. Let's just put orders limits in, and if we get down to this little volume imbalance as well, buy one there as well. If it spikes down, picks me up, then good. There's a little volume imbalance down there. I don't know if it's going to go down there. I've initially marked this out. This is a nice order block as well, but I mean, let's just keep an eye. Right, let's see. Okay, so our first target should be up here. First target should be here. And let's call it target 1. Target 1. Then we go target 2. And then target 3. Okay. See, now we can see that punch in there. Right, so we got this, call it breaker structure. I'd like to see it bounce in there. Boom, it was close. And then 50% of this is round about there, which it goes right to that order block. And let's call it a plus order block, and it would be, I mean, that fair value gap can hold right there, and would like to see price run up the page. Yeah. Time is it? That's macro time now, so that would be one good move if we can see that. I would not want to see this low taken, because that's a swing low. So let's put our stops there. I mean, if it stops me out, then so be it. Okay, so we got stopped out there, and I mean, if you take this low to that, I mean, we're in a discount right now again here. So let's just see what price does. It's currently, I mean, the other thing you need to keep in mind, public holiday yesterday. I mean, it's testing, so it's like moving up and down. Maybe we'll see what price does at 10. So we still got time. I mean, I've tried to catch a early move, and let's see. We've made a new low, a lower low, a high, a lower high, a lower low, a higher low, and a higher high, and a higher low. So, and now we're gonna do lower lows again. All right. Okay, so this fair value gap here is holding price. So let's just give it some time. I think what we're going to see is some sort of movement now at 10, because now from quarter 2 till 10 there is some news coming out. So let's just see what it actually gives us here. Maybe it gives us some sort of aggressive move through this and give us some sort of test. So let's just see. Got this fair value gap here. It's a much bigger one. It's within a fair value gap, so the context is right. Maybe on those prior to the news, it was probably premature for me to take those trades, and obviously that's something for you to add to your journal, to always wait for those news events and see if it spikes and creates some liquidity, and then look for the right setup. So let's just sit back and wait and see what gets, what's on offer for us. Okay, so now we've got the sell side taken with aggressive rejection through that fair value gap, and I'm expecting, and you see how perfect this fair value gap is holding right now. It's not filling it 100%, but it seems like we'll see now. If we get this push away through all these other fair value gaps, then we should be on the right side. And we've got a test of this order block. Let's call it and we would like to see things hold. If we get a down close candle and up, we'll try to buy on it again. Just keep these mean, these fair value gaps are important for us to keep an eye on. Okay. See what price does from here. I would like this not go lower, but obviously to push higher up. Or maybe not. Let's see if these bodies holds here. Running sell side one more time. No. Let's see if we go down to 5 minutes and see if it actually looks different. Let's just make this bigger. There's no fair value gaps here. Fair value gaps up here. So it's up, down. We need to up close above here, to then test down. So 2 minutes looks like. Also no fair value gaps here. It's in this weak area. I mean, the fact that we need some displacement to the upside. So there's up candles, drop, but not take this low out yet. So if we get up candles that close above here, we might see some change in delivery. So let's just sit tight and see what it does. what I can pinpoint out now is just so you all see, let's do that. This is creating this trend line down is creating buy side, where, I mean, looking at things right now, if we test this or come up here to go lower again, this might set up something more for the afternoon session to go higher. But just so you can see, this is buy side. It's a retail mindset of, you know, trends, and at some point that trend will create some sort of fair value gap, get it inverted, and then run all these liquidities, and then most likely it's going to run up into these what you call it, as targets, and I'm just going to mark them out like that so we can all see where are we targeting for. Right, so let's just see how price plays out. I mean, we're still creating lower lows and lower highs, so let's just keep an eye and see what it does. If it doesn't present anything now, I'm most likely just gonna end the stream, and then I'll come back at the PM session around 12 and then see what it presents, or just after 12, you know, through that lunch hour into the afternoon, and see if it actually presents anything. Okay, I would really like to see me pick up within this fair value gap, so we inverted it quite aggressively and hopefully we can get some. Okay, so we've picked up twice, which is good. Let's just see if it can hold now, not like earlier, and see if we can. Okay, so we're in for all 15. Now what I want to see is this fair value gap hold and not run down now to the sell side, but for this block to hold price, to go higher, and maybe I must draw a line, this order block, yeah, and then once we displace above that, this becomes a new propulsion block, because we get all this little order block here and this order block here, so we should not see price close below it. So I don't want to see that. If it stops me out, then I mean, just one of those things, like you guys can see, just got stopped out again. So maybe it's not a good day to trade. I mean, all these fair value gaps is holding perfectly, but then get stopped out on the ones we take. So I mean, the big thing about trading is you got to submit to a process and you got to stick to it. If it inverts in a place of where it gives you confirmations, you got to take it. If it stops you out, there's no point of holding it, and hope for the best. If we had to hold this one and not use the stop loss, I mean, we would have been done down here already. So let's just keep an eye on it. I mean, now we invert back and we test it. Yeah, let's see what it does. Okay, this is still holding this. As you can see, this trend line is still holding, and maybe we get the nice fair value gap down here to invert, to then run all this liquidity that's been building up. So a lot of people are selling these fair value gaps as support, resistance, and all we got to do now is wait for some manipulation for people to to induce more shorts and then see some sort of reversal. So yeah, let's just sit back and wait and see what it presents down here. I've got the feeling it might give us some sort of a big fair value gap down here to invert, but hey, it's part of trading. Trading is not perfect, and obviously I'm not perfect, so let's see. So the other thing we can also keep our minds to keep an open mind here. So this fair value gap is a daily fair value gap, and this dotted line is the 50% of it. And as you can see, we tested it, and that's where we thought, or I thought at least, that we'll start running higher. But it broke down and it tested it and then just dropped further. If on a higher time frame if it inverts this bottom blue block, I mean, there's another fair value gap even lower, and let me show you guys what I mean. Let's just go daily, and I know there's a lot of noise down there, but try to look past it. But there's a daily fair value gap down here, and this fair value gap, if you really look at this swing point here to that swing point there, that forms part of discount. And this weekly fair value gap, if we turn around down here, that would give me confirmation that we'll go even taking these highs, all-time highs, but we've got a bigger fair value gap up here as well. So the fact that we moving lower, and maybe we turn around from here, I don't know what's going to happen at the bottom of this blue block, which is the daily fair value gap. Let's just have a look, but just keep in mind, if we invert this to the downside, there's a volume imbalance here which we've stepped in, and we might drop down even lower. Then if we really invert all of this, guys, we've got these equal lows that potentially could be the downside, but I'm not saying that's where we're going. That's still a long way away. I'm just giving you guys some context what I'm thinking about now. But yeah, let's see. Let's just go back to 2 minutes, and let's see. Okay, so now, like I said, with a pretty big fair value gap, and I'm going to make this one a different color, because I think if this thing invert, let's take that out. This is a fair value gap. This is something we want to see if it's going to go lower or if it's going to invert. If this thing inverts, I'm going to try a buy one last time, and then we'll see. Possibilities, tile. Okay, let's just cancel it. Alright guys, I'm looking at this now and it's getting close to 11 o'clock and I don't get what I see. I mean, I've taken a bunch of losing trades, which I guess is not ideal for the first live stream really, but just stick with me and you'll see I'm not going to be up and down. I think what I've done today is I had a bias and I've marked out, you know, the lower time frame, and I tried to trade it like I would normally do, but today obviously it didn't play ball, and obviously the market wants to go lower. I think the key thing to take away today, even if your bias is that the market might go higher, it's not necessarily where the market should go. So what you need to do, you need to be flexible to jump around and to see, all right, so this is not working, we're making lower lows, and I really should have waited for especially around here where we took the sell side to break up higher and then tested it, and not just plainly rely on fair value gaps. So I think what we'll do is I'll stream again. Obviously I'll get back on at lunchtime around 1, and maybe just before, just to see what's happening, because we'll mark out the highs and the lows between 12 and 1 as liquidity pools, and hopefully we've made some change by then. And if it keeps dropping, that's also fine. Then there's always tomorrow. I think what we do then is just take a stab at it tomorrow again and see what we learn. I think the key thing here is, for me, I take screenshots of all of this and try to understand why this failed for me, and I've outlined it earlier, and I'm saying to you now is, I think what I've done, and that's probably one of my weak points, is sometimes I'm so focused on where the market should go. If it doesn't go there, you can't force it to go. I mean, we're right here where the daily fair value gap, I'm at a bottom range. That's not what I want to see. So I'm just gonna leave it for now. I'm not gonna take any trades and just see how it plays out in the PM session, and then maybe give us some good opportunity for tomorrow. Alright guys, have a good evening, and I'll speak to you guys a bit later. Thank you and take care.